Yep, this intro again. Hello and welcome to Head and Shoulders ATR, where we cover athletes, performances, and otherwise that are head and shoulders above the rest. We got an interesting topic today because I see this in the comment section all the time. We got Macaulay Culkin right there looking like, yo, what if Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce were an American? So many people say that. So on the one hand, people are saying that, middle finger to Sonya Richards-Ross, which her family moved over to the United States when she was still a youth, that she didn't come to compete for Jamaica as like, hey, look, we own you. You got to come here. It's not like, hey, you grew up here and you're used to it. You made some friends in, middle school or high school and stuff like that, and you're comfortable here. No, you got to come and run for us or else. Gun to the head, run for us or we disown you, right? Hey, look, those are different things here, right? That's a different topic too. But I see this all the time. Hey, if Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce were an American, she would be more popular, aka she gets more money, because those go hand in hand. The popularity and the money tend to go hand in hand. Let's just say she's the same personality, right? Not changing personality. So we're going to make two arguments on this one, right? So one argument on the one hand is if Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce takes on Allyson Felix's role. So she's still Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, still 5 feet, right? 5 feet tall, right? She's going to still be the same exact woman, except this one difference. She's going to be just taking over Allyson Felix's times, her world record in the 4x1, everything else she had, the exact career, except the Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce now. Okay? That's one. Two, we're going to argue with the scenario that is all she did was now she's an American, except she's not going to get the 4x1. So it's going to be her, except in the USA. So Allyson Felix wiped away, right, in some ways. But let's just pretend in an alternate dimension that USA and Jamaica got flipped somehow as far as the teams. And so it's going to be a national record for the USA. Instead, she's going to have still her 10-6 flat and all of that stuff, right? So we're going to change that up. So we argue in two different scenarios. Will she be better paid? And it might be different depending on which one it is, right? Right? Okay. Now, before we get into that, don't forget to kiss the diamond and smash that like button. Hit subscribe, comment below. Now, we don't ring the bell here. That's for other people. They can ring the bell, and that's how they smash the like button. We kiss the diamond here because kissing the diamond brings good luck. It brings you push out likes and prosperity. You get back the prosperity. That's why we kissing the diamond. We bring it back to ourselves. So y'all kiss that diamond. That's where that comes from. I saw a comment or so about like, hey, it's ring the bell, I think. But don't listen to Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. Like we said on the last video, look, she wants you to do this. Don't do it. We don't video Sharika panties around here. We don't video those panties of Sharika around on these parts. We instead, like, I know she wants you to do that. But we ain't listening. We gonna analyze some things. And final thing before the topic, don't forget to check out our recent video that we had about who would win an Olympic redo between Gabby Thomas and Sharika Jackson if she made the Olympic finals because she didn't just jog herself out of the Olympics, right? So would she have gotten a silver? Would she have gotten a bronze? Would she have not gotten a medal at all? Would she have pushed Gabby Thomas out, or would she made her go faster and then both of them would have beat Mboma, right? We're going to talk about that on the last video. We got the end card right here. You see the exclamation point either just before the end or now you click that. Now, here, they're a little bit elongated. I'm using a different software than I normally do. So she's actually a little bit stretched out taller than she is wide, right? Because of how I have the aspect ratio. So it's a little bit slight, but for people that see them on a regular basis, they're going to be like, wait a minute, why is Allyson Felix's body and head stretched out? Same thing with Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce first. Then we're going to go to Allyson Felix. We're going to look at their resumes here. And actually, I'm going to do it the other way because this is very interesting. I want to do a comparison right now before I get into it. Look at the difference between the World Championships medals and the medals here. It seems, remember, Allyson Felix and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce look at their ages. Okay, they're a 1 year difference of each other in a couple of months. 35, 34. Literally, she's gonna be 35 this year, and Allyson Felix is gonna turn 36. So now when you look at this, Allyson Felix got into the Olympics at a much younger age. She got one Olympic sooner. She got a few more world championships under her belt too. And it seems like the difference in their medal count actually matches up between the one Olympics that Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce didn't get. Isn't that very interesting? So we're going to see how this is. We're going to see the breakdown here. Now, Allyson Felix, look at her. 7 times Olympic gold medalist, 3 times Olympic silver, Olympic bronze medalist, and then 12 world championship golds. It's like she show up at the world championship, she getting a gold. Now, obviously, she got more than just golds. I think that's only what they can fit here. Let's look at more honors as they show it here. 3 times world championship silver. We're not going to do the world indoors. And that's it. Here it is. 2 times world championship bronze. Those are the ones that we're going to look at right now. Now, one extra thing is the Diamond League. She's one of only 4 athletes to get the Diamond League final, which is called the One-Day Olympics, in 2 separate events. 2 separate events. And we know this year they're paying $10,000 that. So let's just average it out to those. I'm pretty sure it were different numbers in the past. They used to only count the top 3 for points in the Diamond League. They played around with it. And before that, I think the previous version of Diamond League was the Golden League or something like that. So she's been a 2 times Golden League winner, 22 times Diamond League winner, right? Now, obviously, she got the world record in multiple events. But look, don't forget, Noah Lyles, Allyson Felix, Katherine Ibargüen. And y'all like, who the heck is Ibargüen? Y'all don't know who one of the best triple jumpers in the history of the to do the thing is? Oh, my goodness. Y'all need to do some research. A very big personality when it comes down there. Now, let's go down. Let's go down to the personal best, because this is going to come down and be the differentiating factor. In the 100, 1089, that she did that at the London Olympic final. That was good enough to get her 5th. Now, here she is, 2169. That was still the year of the London Olympics, which was good enough to, while she didn't run a PR there, and we're going to see this with Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, sometimes the PRs are going to be at home. So this illusion and so many of these myths about Americans can't reproduce their times, Jamaicans, Kenyans, so many other people can't either. Chill out. It's just like when y'all get into a mode, y'all just sound like bots. Now, here we go. Now, this was good enough to get her over to get an Olympic gold in the 200. We're going to get into that shortly. Then it's a 49.26. Don't forget she actually split sub 48 seconds. It was like a 47 mid or something like that. Maybe 47 low. And we were thinking, hey, man, look, the way she's looking at this 400, she should have been at least 48 something, right? And then some people thinking she would have gotten the world record. But hey, look, it is what it is. Some people thought she would have got the world record, but I thought she could at least have broken 49. Who knows? She might do it next season if she keeps competing. I think her best days are behind her in the 400, but who am I to say? Now, she's got the world record in the 4x100 meter relay, 40.82 seconds, right? Also got the world record in the mixed 4x4, 3:09.34, right? Okay. Now, what is that resulting in? Well, we're going to look at all of her honors in just a second. Let's go over to Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. Now, looking at her, we're going to add the 60 meters to this. Her 60 meter time, 6.98. All right. Now, looking at a 100, we know that she did it this year. She did it in Lausanne, 10.60. Then she comes by at the 200, 21.79. And she did that in Jamaica. So she did not reproduce that at the Tokyo Olympics. But hey, 21.79. Great. Then her 400. All right, look. The reason why I'm laughing, look up Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce running the 400 on YouTube. And it's entertaining to say the least. She comes down and look, man, when they try to interview her, if I ever could get her as an interview, I'm going to ask her about the 400 because her reactions and her facial expressions and everything. Every time you bring up the 400, it's like, oh my goodness, that's death, basically. Like, she'd rather do other stuff than do the 400, man. Look, just look at that. And then the 4x1, national record in that, 41.02. All right, 41.02. Then we're going to go to her honors here. Let's go back to Allyson Felix as we're going back and forth. Look at this. Olympic Games, all of these golds. So, let's look at this. Gold, gold, gold. 4x4. She's got these gold. 3 times 4x4 100-meter gold. 4 times 4x4 100-meter gold. 2 times 4x1. She's got become an Olympic champion in the 200. Right? She's got a silver medal in the 400 against Shanae Miller-Weibo at Rio. Then she's got a bronze this year in the 400. 2 silvers, including her first Olympics. She's a teenager coming up in Athens, coming up over here saying, hey, look, I'm a young teenager, first Olympics, and I got a silver medal, right? This is going to be important in just a second. Then she's got a 5th place finish at London in the Olympic final in the 100. Now, looking at the World Championships, man, it's even more golds. She's got a world record, and she's got the gold in a mixed 4x400 meter relay. Now, that's very new. That's very new. That was the first time that they did that at the World Championships, and this is the first Olympics that they did it for. So it's still new. I'm sure the world record can still go down after that. They just missed it this year, Poland. But here we go. Let's look at her 4x4s. So then she's got 4 times 4x4 gold. So it's 4 and 4. Here it is again. Then she's got 4 times, if I'm not mistaken, 1, 2, 3. Nope, 3 times gold in the 4x100 meter relay. Then she's got a gold in the Beijing World Championships in the 400. Now, all of y'all like, wait a minute, what does it got to do with network? Look, bear with me for a second. Bear with me, okay? Bear with me for just a moment. This is going to come right into their pay, all right? Oops. It's going to come right into their pay. But if you're liking this so far, don't forget to kiss the diamond while you're here. So, now, 200. She's done something that no other woman before or after has done. She's gotten 3 200-meter titles. And not only did she get 3, she got them back to back to back, right? She's got them back to back. So she's done something that no other woman, I don't think she gets enough credit for this. And the time that she lost, and we're going to get into that with Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, she pulled up. I am confident because Shelly-Ann did not actually break 22 seconds, that if she could have pulled out a 22 low, she might have won. She probably would have won. She was suffering through injuries that year. So many people saying, well, she still wouldn't have won. And I'm like, nah. Looking at Allyson Felix in the 200, that was her event. 200 was her best event. And you saw even as a teenager, she made it there. That was her crowning event. Had she done the 2 and the 4 earlier, I think she might have broken 48 seconds. And who knows how fast she would have went. But anyway, here, 4x4 silver, 4x1 silver, 400 meter silver. This is all world championship. Bronze in the 400, and then a bronze in the 200. All right. Now, let's consider something here. All right. And maybe, actually, let me do a small correction on this. Was that the 200 in a row? Yes, it was, because it was 05, 07, 09. And then 11, she got bronze. She tried to come back in 2013 after she won London, she tried to come back in 2013 to get 4. That would have been crazy. Now, let's go over to Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. After we go through this, we're about to come up with some background details here. Olympic Games. We got a 4x1 national record for her in Jamaica, gold. She's got a 2-time back-to-back leading the first sweep in history of the women's 100, which is for Jamaica, right? And so she won that in Beijing as a 21-year-old, and then she came back in London and showed us how it's done. Then she's got a silver this year, which she was a silver behind the second ever sweep, which was Jamaica as well. Then she's got 2 silvers in the 4x100 meter relay, a silver in London to Allyson Felix. So it was like, hey, look, they going back to back, right? And then she's got a bronze when she had a toe injury in Rio in the 100. And then unfortunately, she got 4th this year in the 200 final at Tokyo. So here's the World Championship. Looking like at Allyson Felix. Look at how many goals they be getting, right? So we going to go this way. She got a 4th in Daegu. So that Daegu was not good for Allyson Felix or Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. They was just not having it that year. And then she's got a silver in Daegu at the World Championships in a 4x1. Now let's go back up here. She's got 1, 2, 3, 4 4x100 meter relays. It matches up with her 100s too. You notice this? She's got 1, 2, 3, 4. She's done something no other woman has gotten before as well. She's actually more medaled than Usain Bolt when it comes to the 100. That's kind of crazy, isn't it, when you think about it? She has more medals, whether it's gold, silver, bronze, whatever, than Usain Bolt at the 100. Now, she's got 4 more than any other woman has done before. So Allyson Felix got the a legendary mark in the 200, and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce has got the legendary mark in the 100. Okay? Now, the 200, she also won in Russia. Remember? Don't forget in 2013, she won. Allyson Felix unfortunately pulled up. That would have been a great rematch to see both of them, even though Allyson Felix was injured, just like Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce was injured in Rio. So, different injury, obviously. So, I think I went over everything here. Now, what does that lead us to? Oh, let's not forget. Let's not forget. I think I forgot one thing. 3 times Olympic gold, 4 times Olympic silver, 1 times Olympic bronze, 9 times world champion, 1 times world championship silver, and don't forget the Diamond League, 14 times Diamond League winner. All right, there we go. Right, we're not going to count the World Indoor, okay? World Athletics Final is a little bit weird to me. I don't particularly understand the importance of the World Athletics Final, but I thought it was their attempt to do the World Championships, but World Athletics. Now, what does this add up to? Well, Allyson Felix has a $4.5 million net worth. Now, before I get the whiners to come in here, and they say, well, technically, we don't actually know who's the net worth anywhere. Okay, get off the video. Get off the video right now. Get off the video, because we're doing the best data that we got. This is the best data we got, okay? If you don't like it, for what the best data that you can have is called evidence-based reasoning. That's what we do around here. Evidence-based. If you can't prove something, it's irrelevant. The only thing we could go is on what we can prove. So, now we got our speculation videos. That's for that speculation playlist. But on this one, we doing as best evidence that we can prove. So get off that video if you can't handle what we can prove. Now, with what the best evidence we got, she's at a $4.5 million net worth. Now, obviously, there are probably some appearance fees that might skew it higher or lower or higher than what we're about to go into Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. But look at this. She's an American. She's done so many. She's the most medaled Olympic athlete in the history to do the thing. The most medaled Olympic and World Championship athlete to do the thing. Being hailed throughout the media as the greatest, and to one of the greatest to ever do it. You know the American media. That's the star, the darling, right? Just like they would hail Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce in Jamaica. It's just that the USA has a bigger market, as a bigger audience and everything. So that's one thing you got to put into context. Every country is going to be pushing up their athlete. Now, but to be honest, with the greatness that is the United States, with how many athletes that can help her on the relays, because a relay is dependent upon other people. Remember, Adi went over to Europe. Well, the other legs can't do anything, even if she's doing well. There was been East Germans during a time other than when they were really good and everything and they had the world record for a while. Well, one time 4 of their legs were bad. No, Greece. 4 of the legs were bad. The anchor leg, they said they had speculated that this athlete had one of the fastest finishes of all time. What did that get them? I think it only got them 5th, right? In the 4x1. So we got to put that in mind. Now, let's look at something else. Y'all like, wait a minute, how the heck this guy increased his voice? Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, what? $4 million only, and I say only, it's kind of like being 0.15 behind in a 100. If I had to equate it, or let's say a 1/10 of a second behind, because you're like, okay, only $500,000. This guy's talking like that's small chump change. It's not. It's not. 500,000 US dollars is a lot of money. Now, unless you're living in Manhattan, you can blow that real quick, and in certain places in California, or as we call it, California. But anyway, look. There is, wait a minute. I don't think y'all putting this connection. She's Jamaican, and she's only, and I'm going to still say the only here, even though we know there's a big difference. She's only $0.5 million away. Now, $500,000 away. Now, what is this? Now, the reason why I just mentioned all of this here, look at this resume right here. Look at this resume. She's got 12. She's got 3 more medals. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, another thing is she actually placed at an Olympics before. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce had a couple of more world championships than Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. Why is it that she isn't streaking past her with even more? Shouldn't she have like 1.5 million more? Shouldn't she have like 2-3 million more? Right? Shouldn't this number not even be close enough to still say it? It could have been 4.5 for Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce and 5 million for Allyson Felix. 11 million for Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce and 11.5 million. The fact that they're this close tells me one thing, that you guys are unexpected. What do you guys think that is? Some of you guys already know because you saw that stream before, but it comes down to a factor here. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is in a premier sprint event and is running well. That's the difference. Now we're going to do an honorable mention here. We got Tori Bowie. Remember that she actually won a gold at the World Championships in a 100. So that's a premier event. Remember, I'm going to tell y'all like this. The 200 is less popular than the pole vault. All right? Pole vault is one of the more popular field events, actually. Now, the 200 is less popular than the pole vault. Now, a personality like a Usain Bolt can be more popular than it. But imagine that Michael Johnson, which was a 2 and a 400 meter athlete, could be the best in the world in the 100. Just like how Verholm and Daphne Schippers actually winded up going from the decathlon, which is low paid, one of the lowest paid. Decathletes, the multi-eventers, and the hammer throwers are the lowest paid athletes in track and field. They're the lowest paid. I think even less than, well, the race walkers don't do things regularly there. But I would say they could probably compete with the race walkers of being not that highly paid. But I think they even get paid more. Now, that one, I got to confirm the data. So that one is a little bit of headcanon, my speculation. But when it comes to track and field, right, the lowest paid athletes are the decathletes. Now, going over from the decathlon to the 400 hurdles, Verholm is going to make a lot more money. Going over from the decathlon to the 200, winning the 200. Now, she placed behind Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce in the 100, Daphne Schippers, right? She placed behind, but she didn't win at the World Championships and definitely didn't win at the Olympics, right? And so the thing is here, all right, guys, let's be honest. The 200 is not as popular as the 1. It's something about a straight line. Just like if you're a distance runner, if you're a 5K and a 10K athlete, right? You're not going to make as much money as a 1500 runner. Now, you might say mid-distance, and that's long distance right there over, what is that, the 10K? Well, the road runners might make more than the track athletes. Yes, There's a reason for it, but that's a different subject. I just want to break this down. If you're a field eventer, there are certain field events that make more money. There are certain, if you're a sprinter, there are certain sprint events that make more money than the other ones. If you're a distance athlete or a mid distance or a long distance, there are more. Other than the marathon, marathon is completely in a different category on its own with the track events. You're going to make more money as a 1,500-meter runner. Now, let's break this down. Tori Bowie, with her win in the 100, her medaling in the 100. Don't forget, she medaled in the 100 at the Olympics, right? Right? Did she not get a silver ahead of Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce in Rio? Unless my memory is mistaken here. And then I think she got a bronze in Rio in the 200. So she got those events, and they got her at a basically around $300,000 net worth. This one is estimated between $100,000 and $1 million. And they keep saying that she's a long jumper, so this might be skewed a lot. They might be paying attention only to that. But the fact that they brought up here, I think, that she's done the 100 and everything, maybe they're only counting the Olympics as well. If they count the World Championships, that might give us a different number. But this is the best case evidence here, right? This is the best evidence that we got with these here. That's why I brought in more than one, because I was like, what? And it may need to be updated, but they got 2018 stuff here, and this one is updated to 2020. So she's somewhere between 100,000 and $1 million net worth. I'm gonna lean toward the 0.3, so 300,000 ish. 100,000 to about 400,000. Let's give her that, right? And that is probably more so coming from the 100, not even from her long jump, not even from her 200 dash. That's probably coming more from her appearances in the 100. And then also she does modeling and she does those things. So that's good. So let's go back here. Now, with Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, here's the most important thing that you all been waiting for. If she was the exact same athlete, let's look at it that way. Well, actually, let's look at her as an Allyson Felix first. Then we're gonna go there, because some guys, some of you guys are probably like, okay, right? Now, what if she was an Allyson Felix athlete? Now that means she takes over every single thing. Exactly. Let's do it real quick. Boom, 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 boom. All right, now we have traded their bodies. We've traded them for a second. She has taken the place of Allyson Felix. Now, this is Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, 35-year-old American, born November 18th, 1985, right? She's coming out here. She's got 7 times Olympic gold, 3 times. She's the most medal athlete in the history of the sport. Now she's an American. So not even Jamaican doing it. Well, let's look at it this way. All right. Now you might be assuming, because I said, well, in that way, that I might actually be saying that she's going to make less. Well, if she was doing these events, I would say as an American, she's going to be, it's kind of hard to say here. She's going to make more than what she makes now. But this is a different event, remember? Allyson Felix is literally making more than her now. So the answer would be yes. Now, the biggest thing is going to come into play is if she compares herself to herself. Now, we're comparing her to Allyson Felix's version of Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, and now we're going to compare her to the Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce version of Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, but except this is an American. So her exact same resume, national record of 41.02, right? Instead of the 40.82, right? Because there's a 0.2 of a difference in those world records. Don't you like how I know that on the top of my head? I should get a pat on the back. Kiss the diamond and smash that like button. So, now what's the difference here? Okay. I want to point something out to y'all that maybe y'all don't understand here. Maybe y'all don't understand, because a lot of biases come into play, and I'm going to say this right before I say my final answer. A lot of us like to be, we get stuck in the mindset, right? Sometimes we get stuck in the victim mindset. For example, as a lot of us are black that watch this channel, right? Or brown skin, right? And they're like, hey, we were descendants of slaves and everything like that, and diaspora and things like that. You know, sometimes you get so much in a victim mindset that you go into that and everything of your perception is now looking at it that way. This person's got to be racist because they said this thing this way when all they did was talk. Right? When people were thinking I'm just a white dude that's on here, they were like, you holding a black man down, this racist guy here or something like that. And I'm like, okay, that shows your bias. Or you're anti-American because you over there and you big up in the Jamaicans. They're the fastest athletes. So you don't like to hear facts? You like to be pampered? You want to pamper in a diaper now? You want a pacifier and only hear good stuff? Sometimes we're getting a victim mindset where that's where we are instead of being in a victory mindset of looking at the positives and how are the solutions, how we get out the situation. Okay, cool. Slaves, cool. Now we're at where we're at. How do we keep moving forward? How do we prevent some of these things from happening again? How do we stop from selling out my own person to the next one for doing that? Oh, wait a minute. That's a human thing. Each group sells out their own, right? And sometimes you're not even the same. Is the lowly person the same as the high person? Is a king the same as a peasant? Is the king the same as a middle class person? No, they are not. They're going to be groups and cliques, and that's perfectly fine because that's how humans are. So when you come in and you're like, hey, we're Jamaican, we mad at Sonia Richards-Ross, you are in your right to be angry because she was born in Jamaica. She moved, but then she's also in her right to say, nobody owns me. I'm comfortable where I am. And I'm going to live here and I'm happy with where I am and I should be able to enjoy my life. So if you're upset with me from I'm not representing Jamaica standpoint, fine. But if you're going to come at me personally and my family, now that's where you go overboard. And in my opinion, that's where you go overboard. Now, here we go. Getting into this. There might be a perception that the USA is going to be, paying you higher. Why? Did you know that our track meets don't even be paying our officials? Did you know that some of these track meets, you don't be making scrape dollars, nothing? Why do you think so many Americans, Jamaicans, go to Europe? Because the meets pay more. And this is where I come into the Diamond League. You forget, many of you, that track and field is international. Sure, some of the Diamond League meets are in New York, are in Eugene, in Oregon, or in other places in the USA. But the great majority of them, the great continental tours, the great majority of the continental tour events are in Europe. Some are in Africa. Some are in North America, by way mainly in the United States. But you're not realizing, some of you, that this is an international thing. Allyson Felix, and so many of you in the same breath would say Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce would make more as an American, in the same breath saying that Americans can make more money outside. These are some of the same people. Can make more money outside the United States because in the US it's like it's a joke because there are other sports and the USA doesn't cover it like that. So here is my conclusion here. Would you rather be Allyson Felix's career as an American or Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce's career as a Jamaican, right? We're going to look at Grandma Price, Fraser-Pryce, and Grandma Felix. Because even Allyson Felix admitted that she's an old person on, I think, the Today Show. She said it recently, too. She was like, hey, in track and field, I'm old. Biologically, we are old once we get to a certain age and differences or whatever. We talked about it on a previous video. So here, she would actually, in fact, probably make more. She'd probably make more as an American here. Now, the reason being, and here is what it comes down to. Now, here, she will make about the same as Allyson Felix is if she were Allyson Felix's career. Why do I say this? Well, she's Allyson Felix. Right? She's Allyson Felix, except with her own personality. If she comes up with a personality, if you look at Allyson Felix and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, personality-wise, the difference between both of them is Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is a bit funny. She's kind of a jokester. So maybe that might help her a little bit more. But they're both beloved internationally, right? Now, but the difference will be in the premier event of the 100. If the United States had somebody that could win and that we could point to and say, look, because right now the United States has been on this backside since Marion Jones has been gone. It's been Jamaica, 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 and Jamaica for the Olympics. 4 Olympics in a row. Right? Where's the in between? Now, and then 1 American at the World Championships. But aside from that, it's been darn near, two Americans, because Carmelita Jeter did beat Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, and she actually got 4th in that one. So there's been 2 Americans in between in that same period of time between, Sydney? Darn it, the Sydney Olympics and now, basically. Or 3 Americans, I think. Other than that, it's been darn near Jamaica and then the occasional somebody else. That's what it's basically been looking at. It's Jamaica basically controlling it in the women's. Now, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, what would I estimate her net worth to be? She might only get a slight advantage. And you know the reason why? The only reason I would say she would make more money in the United States for being a 100-meter star here, and the only reason I'm going to say this is because the personality difference is going to stand out. Allyson Felix ain't that good in the 100. If she was a 100 athlete, and that's why I'm going to say, if Allyson Felix had Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce's times in the 100, there would be no difference. I can't see it. I can't see the difference in what they're doing. You know why Allyson Felix is also not making more? Because of how the contract was made. That's why I'm going to do a follow-up video on that Nike one. Some of you haven't even made it this far into it. It's 36. Y'all like, whoa, how come I got to listen to this whole thing? I'm only going to hear part of it, and I'm going to react on the video title, and I'm going to say this. Actually, if we being honest, there is no difference between if she was American or Jamaican. 0 at all. Maybe there's a 2 to 5% difference, and a 2 to 5% difference in when it comes to these dollar amounts to a lot of money, actually. But here's how it is. She had an Adidas contract before. Nike didn't want to renew with her, and then was going to pay her just crumbs based on what she had before. Remember this? If it was so good to be an American in America, where track meets ain't paying you a diddly squat until basically this season and maybe a season ago, that where they starting to attempt to do it, where I was like, yo, F some of these people, right? I was feeling myself, forget USATF, forget Trike and everything, because they're controlling that. They got the main thing there. They don't want to pay the athletes. They want to pocket everything. They don't want to pay the field eventers. They barely want to pay me as an announcer. And I said, I ain't doing this meet unless you pay me X, Y, and Z. Right? They don't want to do that. And I've seen the money and how much they can make. They can afford it. They can afford to pay these field eventers. They can afford to even pay me more for announcing. They pocket in so much, it's ridiculous. And so, if you think Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce will make more as an American, well, adjust her cost of living here. Adjust her cost of living and living in the United States. Right? Adjust her cost of living and see how much of a chunk that takes out of your net worth. Then realize that as she's made more of her money anyway, out of these diamond leagues, she's gone over to Europe as well. Where is that at? Here's a diamond league wins. She's come over and done the diamond leagues. So most of their net worth is actually internationally done. And not even internationally like in the U.S. She's gone to Hayward Field a couple of times. She's gone to New York a few times. But she's gone more to Europe than she's been in the United States. I can guarantee you that. As far as the big paying meets and the appearance fees. That's the data we got here. So there will be no absolute difference. If Allyson Felix was Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, she might have maybe 6.5, maybe even $10 million net worth. But then Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce will have about the same. Maybe slightly more because her personality. But if you were to put their personalities there, and I think Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce's personality is a better fit for the 100 than Allyson Felix. She doesn't have that same, like, yeah, I'm gonna pump my chest, and Shelly-Ann kind of does do that a little bit. She's like, yeah, she kind of fits that the power, the like somewhat braggadocious nature of the 100. So that personality could sell a little bit more. Now here's what I'm gonna prove to you, and this is gonna end. I'm gonna do this on the next video. This is gonna follow up. Don't forget to watch the next one. How come Elaine Thompson-herah, which is even younger than Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, got the same net worth based on our best information, and yet she's not as dominant in the 100? Definitely not. We can't say, oh, because of this year she got the best time, the second fastest time. No, this is not just gonna be on this year. There's a reason why she has a net worth right around Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, and I'm gonna cover it on the next video. Thank you guys for sticking with me for 40 minutes. Hopefully you played it on 2x speed and can still understand my different accent, because I know there's a 5% of you guys that use subtitles here. Now, what do you guys think? Do you guys agree or disagree with me? I say ultimately there is no difference in what the net worth is. And if there is, there's going to be a slight advantage to Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce only if she kept her career in the 100. Right? Slight advantage because her personality, I think, fits a little bit more. Aside from that, because it's so tiny of a difference, it's basically the same. It's a wash. American versus not, and then you adjust her cost of living, her net worth might actually just come back down, back down to where it would be with Allyson Felix. So anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to kiss the diamond on the way out the door, and don't forget to check out the other videos. And you've been watching a Head and Shoulders ATR production, where we cover athletes' performances and otherwise that are head and shoulders above the rest. Thank you guys for watching this video. Smash the like button, comment, subscribe. Peace, and share.